This is the plaintiff, Maria Pecoraro. She says the defendant, her ex-husband, agreed to pay half their son's school loan, but hasn't, and she's coming after him with the long arm of the law today. The defendant keeps going on about how he's a man of his word. She's sick of his lies, sick of him, and now everyone knows everything. She's suing for $4,037.50, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Ronald Pecoraro, Jr. He says he and the plaintiff had a messy I hate you and you hate me type of divorce. You know, regular divorce kind of stuff. The plaintiff's being nasty for no good reason, because he did in fact pay half their son's student loans, and he has no idea where she's coming from by filing this lawsuit. He's accused of being a deadbeat dad.
Litigant Antonio.
Thank you, Douglas. Maria Pecoraro, you are suing your former husband, Ronald Pecoraro?
Yes.
For $4,037.50 that you say he owes you on an obligation for your child's education that he promised to pay and according to you hasn't paid. What's going on?
September of 2010, my son decided to go back to school.
And how old's your son?
He is 21.
Okay.
Then he was 20.
And what kind of school?
Recording engineering.
Okay.
Okay, I called up my ex-husband. I explained to him that they did not offer financial aid. If he was not able to help me pay half of the school payment, which would be like $40 a week, he would not be able to go.
Your son?
Correct.
Right. And your son didn't talk to him and ask him?
No, they don't have a good relationship like that.
Okay.
Okay, so when he agreed, I went, I gave the down payment, we signed the papers, he started going to school.
Who signed the papers?
Myself and my son.
Why didn't he go sign the papers if he's part of it too?
Honestly, I didn't even...
It would be a great idea, don't you think?
Yeah.
A better way to do it? Okay, so your son and you sign the documents, and then what happens? Does he pay the $40 a week? A week or a month?
Well, it would be $40. The payment was $309, so his half would be less than $40 a week.
Okay.
I have to call him up, chase him down for it. When he'd give me $50 one month, the next month he'd give me $80, and it got to the point where it's, a year later, my son graduated, and I would literally have to beg to get the money for my school payment, for his school payment.
Okay, now the payments were going to continue till when?
It's a 3-year loan. So
it's a 3-year loan.
Correct.
All right, and was your son going to be paying any of it?
No.
Okay. Now, you two didn't have a very good relationship.
Correct.
All right, how long ago did you get divorced?
2 years ago.
All right, was it nasty?
In the beginning, yes.
And it's not nasty now?
Well, now I prefer not to talk to him. The only reason why I needed to communicate was to pay his son's school payment.
Okay. When did he stop?
Well, it's hard to determine. Like I said, 1 month he'd pay 80, 2 months later he'd give me 50.
Did you keep some kind of tally on how much he'd paid?
No, I didn't.
Did you?
No.
Tell me about when you... It's like a recipe for disaster that couldn't be scripted any better than you two scripted it. You can't stand each other. You don't want to have contact with him. You say talking to him is torture. And then you put yourself in a position where every week you got to ask him for money. Oh, my God, it's like you're married. All right. Tell me about this. How did you agree to pay for the educational obligation here?
Well, she called me one day. She said, very clear, could you help me? It's only for a year. You'll never have to talk to me again. Made it very clear, you know what I'm saying? I did. Be honest, I went down to a restaurant. Every time I got abused, I can't stand you, you're a loser, blah, blah, blah.
Why was she so mad at you?
Because she feels I walked out.
Did you?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah?
Yes or no, you know what I'm saying? There was reasons, of course. There's a long history that you're going back and forth to Florida, this and that, But that's, far and done, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's no hard feelings over that, really, you know what I'm saying? It's like...
Apparently you're wrong. There are hard feelings.
She is anyway, not me.
Okay.
But, so I did go pay it quite often, Then she told me, well, last year, granted I was late, but I always went over there. I gave her money, 80, 100, 120. Remember distinctively last time, $120 in the parking lot. Could you give me a little more? She was nice. I actually gave her a nice mixtape, you know what I'm saying?
You gave her a mixtape?
Yeah, a mixtape. So, and she was friendly that time, So then,
wait, who does that? What was that? Was that in the 80s or was that now?
Yeah, it was 80s tapes, yeah.
A tape?
Yeah.
A tape, not a CD?
Yeah, CD, yeah. No, it's a
CD.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, a CD, right? Okay, because
So
I'm
then-
like having a flashback. All right, go ahead.
I just kind of asked for my tools a couple times, you know what I mean? Can I please get some tools I left? I left a lot of tools over there.
2 years ago?
Yeah, they've been in there. I was going in there getting them. Then she put a padlock on the garage side. She says, no, I told you should have got them. She tells me she's read all the tools. I said, those are valuable tools. I had a lot of wood tools, saws, like tons of tools. I accumulated over the years. So you know what? I feel like out of the good nature, I was helping her out. It wasn't an obligation. I was helping her out out of the good nature. I don't make like a ton of money.
Right, but that's your kid. You weren't helping her out so she could go back to school. That you were helping to pay.
It was a music school. It wasn't like real college. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it wasn't real college. It was.
No.
It was
like a thing at night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the thing your son does.
Yeah.
Okay, he's developing the gifts that he was born with. Okay, so you're helping to pay for that. It's not the goodness of your heart to her. Right? It's not for her. She's not like, she didn't want like pole dancing lessons, right? That you're helping to pay for. No, it's for your son. Do you have a good relationship with your son?
I don't know if, we used to when I was married, not no more, like, I mean, he's a little, he lives with his mother, so I guess he's a little better for whatever reason, it's not a terrible relationship, it's not like we fight,
How often do you see him?
It was good. When I call him, he never calls back, he only texts me, Actually, last night he did call me though, He's been a little friendly.
What did he say last night?
I was asking about my daughters because I insured the car for her and I never got the money, so I was asking if she's working because, and he told me, that she's working at Applebee's because they said she hasn't paid me in 5 months for the insurance that I put under my name,
Okay.
So,
But
I wanted to find out if she's working.
You didn't mention, you didn't talk about People's Court?
No, I just told him I was going. He said, you should go, you should go. He wanted me to go.
He knows that you guys are here?
Yeah, he wanted me to go.
All right. Now, what I would like to understand is what's your defense? You undertake this obligation, but then you don't know how much you've paid.
Yeah,
she doesn't know how much
it was like,
paid.
help me out once in a while. It wasn't like you're paying half. It was never clear that I'm paying half. That was never, help me out. She knows I don't make much, you know what I'm saying? That's probably why we're divorced because, I do carpet and, at the end, like when we got divorced, I wasn't making that much money. So she was always like, you're a loser. You got to go get a regular job. I says, that's what I do though, you know what I'm saying? So she always wanted more. I very made it clear. I'll help. Never half.
It was never a specific amount.
No, it was never a specific amount.
Is that true or not true?
That's not true.
He undertook to pay half.
It was to be half.
And did you ever tell him how much it was going to be?
Yes.
I'm going to need $4,000. Did you ever say that to him?
Well, I told him what the whole loan was, 92, and that he would need to pay half.
Okay. And you never got that in writing from him?
No.
How about emails or texts? Anything that would reflect that?
Well, I did have a text, and then I have a new phone, so I wasn't able to bring that.
That would have been good, right?
I know it would have been.
And your testimony is you never agreed to pay half. You just agreed to, quote, help her out.
Yes, exactly.
What did she say to you? What was the last time you decided not to help her out anymore because she wouldn't let you in to get your tools?
No, that would have nothing to do with it, really. Basically, like after not talking the whole summer, she says, he's going to school. You got to give me money again. I said, what are you talking about? I thought it was done. You don't go to school no more. He graduated. She kept saying, when he graduates, So I said, I don't understand. How come you got to pay it still?
Because it's a loan, and the loan is longer than the school.
No, but she said he was only going for, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I did help her, you know what I mean? I went there a couple of times. I remember, distinctively, you know what I mean? I went there a few times, The tools was just like, a little thing there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a big thing because according to you, you still had the tools in the garage in the house, and then you told her, if you give me my tools back, then I will give you money.
Yeah, of course I would help her out.
Okay,
Not
so
distinctively, you know what I mean? I'm going to help her out.
Well, I don't know. That's very distinct. If you give me my tools back, I don't make this stuff up, pal. I'm reading from your answer. If you give me my tools back, then I will give you money.
Yeah, I'd help her out a little bit.
Her response to that was basically what? What was her response?
You don't want to know. It wasn't nice.
I do. What'd she say to you?
Basically, no way. Like, you know what I mean? I feel honestly, like if I would have got the tools, not that I was paying half obligated, but I would give her a few dollars here and a few dollars there. You know what I'm saying?
Her response to that was basically blank you. You had your chance to come in and get them before.
Yes.
She was so nasty for no reason.
Yes.
Even when I would show up at the restaurant that she works at to give her some money for his loan, she would come up to me and just say things like, "You're a son of a blank."
Yes.
Take the money and walk away.
Yep. She made me
It's
feel
like
degraded.
pizza.
I walked out of
you
there
don't
like...
pay for pizza, you don't get. What does that mean?
Means like I don't understand. Like the school's done. Like, you know what I mean? I thought it was done like for the year, and I thought she was only paying for the year.
Do you understand how loans work?
No, I do, but yeah, I didn't understand that part. Like I figured he was done because she made it very clear. You'll never have to talk to me again. I had a million texts that says, you're a loser. I'll never have to talk to you again. I never want to talk to you again. You know what I mean?
Do you have
After
those
this.
texts? Do you have those texts?
I had them on one of my phones. Like the same thing. It's broken. I wanted to pull it up, but yeah.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So what do you do in a divorce where there's just a lot of nastiness when kids are involved? How do you break the nastiness?
You focus on the children and you focus on what's best for them.
Is it kind of like shaming the other person into being civilized?
No, you just kind of step away from your own pain and you just kind of think of your kids first and put them first and just let yourself go.
You know what? Well spoken, both of you. Very good. Going inside the courtroom.
It's a problem, you know, that the best way to do this, it's never going to happen again with you, but the best way to have done this is to get him in writing. And if you can't get him in writing because you don't want to antagonize him, so you don't want to actually submit a promissory note, then you just get him in writing in a text or an email or something where you can prove the obligation that you're saying he undertakes. A lot of times people do things in a can you help me out, can you help me out manner. And a can you help me out, can you help me out is one legal obligation. And can you help me out, I need you to pay exactly half of this. You know, it'd be a really good idea if you had him signing for your son. If he's a father and he should be ponying up, then he comes and he signs with you those documents. But, you know, it's just too thin, Ms. Pecoraro, for me to turn around and say, I see a clear obligation where he's supposed to pay you exactly $4,637.50, and he's only paid you $600. You don't even keep records. I mean, you're so fuzzy that you don't even keep records of what he's paid. He doesn't either. I mean, it's just whatever. You struggle like that, then that's sort of what happens when you come to court. So based on this, I can't order him to pay any more, even though he should morally, and he's the father and he should because his son is watching. I can't really order it because you're not able to prove that legal obligation. My verdict's for the defendant.
Thank you.
Well, with that ruling, that's the end of that obligation on his part to you. So step in a little closer. What's your feeling on that verdict?
I'm just glad it's over. I mean, you know, I don't need to communicate with him any longer. It was all about his son. I never asked for anything else in the divorce. It's just about son's school payment.
Well, that's still dead, you know? And so how do you plan to go about a lifetime of parenting that son
I mean,
with
I'm going
him?
to have to take that day by day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is the door open for a life with Dad?
No.
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 All right. All right,
Thank
just
you.
right down this way. Okay. All right, so you win this case. Come on in here. Do you feel like a winner?
Yeah, I do. You know, not that, you know, it's anything great. You know what I mean? It's going for a good cause. But, you know, I just feel like I was 100% right. You know what I mean? I did out of the goodness of my heart. And I went there, and like when you get graded every time, you know what I mean? Putting down, you know? If somebody's nice, you're going to, you know, help them out. You know what I'm saying? It was never going to loan them out. You know what I'm saying?
What about the son, though? I mean, you could step forward
No, he
and
worked
help
with me
him
once
out.
in a while. Yeah, I do. And I take him to work once in a while. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we were like real close when I was married. But now he's a little distant.
Would you like a closer relationship
I
with
would,
him?
definitely. And I call him text him all the time. I call him actually, and he texts me back. You know, last night he actually called me. I took him to work a few weeks ago, right before Christmas.
I heard you say that.
Yeah.
You're going to keep reaching out to him?
I do. I always do, you know.
keep
But a lot of times he didn't want to talk to me. He would always text me. I get aggravated because it's like a whole thing. I said, please, let's just talk on the phone instead, you know.
All right, okay. All right, well, good luck.
All right,
Everything.
thank
All
you.
right. Harvey?
Okay, you know, whenever you have deals with an ex-spouse, you've got to formalize those deals in writing. And when there are payments going back and forth, keep a ledger, a very specific ledger. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.